Hello, Taurus, and welcome back to your extended. So, I'm asking about this Emperor energy that you are coming into. And, it seems like when you start to activate that Emperor energy within you, there's a lot of kind of like the more shadowy aspects of the emperor that seem to come to the forefront. Speaking of, things that are eliciting like behaviors of competition or a lot of conflict that's coming in, um, kind of like things that are really characterized as asserting yourself as the one. It's coming through as like the one. I don't know why. There's a reading. I think it was one of the last Aries readings that I did. Um, it was talking about against the fold. That was the name of the reading, and it was talking about the one or the iota. Um, so that just seems to be like an aspect of that archetype that is showing itself to you, and also in a sense kind of like presenting itself externally. It's almost as if it is a natural byproduct, or that it just comes with it. It's something that, like, if you get this, you also get this part as well. You get the entire scope of the emperor energy. And of course, like with the emperor energy, there are a lot of positive aspects to the emperor. There's well, and that's being characterized as this king of wands, and that talks about passion and creativity, and also actually like kind of being the life of the party, or the one who everyone gravitates towards. It's really signifying the idea of gravitas, being able to pull people towards you. And you know like people are attracted to this emperor energy. But it does seem like sometimes that attraction it seems like it starts to kind of ruffle the feathers of those around you, because maybe it's like they're wanting your attention. They're wanting the attention of the emperor. And so because of that, it's like you're experiencing this type of conflict, just like in many different areas of your life. At least in the first half of the reading, it was kind of talking about like you actually might be experiencing it as like stagnant or negative energy that is building up within your environment, be that your home or your workplace or your any type of environment that you go in. You might just kind of like notice, like even in your body too, like you might just notice that there's like a little bit of strife like everywhere that you look. And and that is because it's almost like it is acting as a reflection that of kind of actually like showing you that you are this emperor. You are in this energy. And if you've never been in that energy, then you wouldn't know that this is what kind of pops up with it. It's like it does feel like this it seems to be like your first time experiencing this. And so if you're kind of going into that, then I almost want to intrinsically say that, especially with how the readings have been going lately, it looks as though people are, Libra season is giving the collective an opportunity to kind of like switch sides, or to switch sides in a sense of, if 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 say a group is working on their feminine energy, it's like this Libra season is kind of shifting everyone over to their masculine energy, and vice versa. And so it kind of makes me feel as though you're probably very well acquainted with the feminine aspect, the feminine energies, which it does. I mean, you are showing up here with the Empress at the end of your spread. So it definitely makes sense that you're kind of very well attuned to this part, but maybe not so much to this part, the Emperor. So with all of that being said, um, we're starting your reading off with the Strength card. And this is coming through as we're kind of going back to that paranormal or otherworldly experience that you might be, that you not might be, but like it seems like you definitely are, that you're experiencing in the middle of the night. And what's being pointed out here, so this energy here, the feminine that's being presented in the Strength card, she's kind of representing this here, the Temperance and the Star energy, that cleansing, healing, rejuvenation, a very angelic energy. So they're actually kind of this is very interesting. They're actually kind of viewing you as well, it's coming through as like a pet. Um, and not that you are their pet or anything like that. It's more referring to that they view you as someone that needs to be cared after, that that requires a lot of love, attention, and care. It's coming through with that like pet, with that pet energy, because it's like our pets are so domesticated in a sense that they kind of can't really care for themselves. Like they need the human or their caretaker to come in and, like, feed them, or I mean, we have all of this like cat lion energy. So it's kind of like they need someone to come in and clean their litter box and feed them and play with them and have little toys and all those things. Like they're a pet. There's something that can't take care of itself by itself. Like it needs the interaction. It needs the interaction with a human in order to, I guess, in a sense, like live a very fruitful and have a like well-beingness. It's all about well-beingness. So it's like that otherworldly energy is viewing you as that pet. So they're kind of seeing you in a way that's, you're very domesticated, and not that you can't take care of yourself. You definitely can take care of yourself in a domesticated sense. In an otherworldly sense, you need assistance. You need assistance in this. And that's what they're coming in. They're coming in to help with. It's like they're coming in to help with the energetic aspect of all of this. It's like the aspects that you might not be fully aware of because you are so domesticated and pet like. It's a very terrible analogy, but that's how it's coming through. So it's like if we were talking about how you might actually be perceiving this as something that's very like scary, things going bump in the middle of the night, that type of thing. What it's really referring to is that they're it's like you're seeing it as this like like thing that is like touching you. It's creepy. It's creepy. But they're wanting to emphasize here that they're actually just trying to pet you. Oh my god, please give me better words to describe this. They're actually just trying to pet you. And comfort. It's coming in with a sense of comfort. Yeah, so it's kind of like actually, if you think about like a stray or like a wild cat or a wild stray, something some type of animal that hasn't had any human interaction. In your reading, in this case, it's talking about a human who hasn't had any otherworldly interaction. It's coming across as like a stray, like trying to rescue a stray. Okay, so trying to rescue a stray and like putting out little bits of food and making sure it's comfortable and all those things, and trying to get it to come closer so that you can pet it. And it's it's talking about establishing a relationship. Like it's like this otherworldly energy wants to establish a relationship with you. And because you are experiencing this upkick um, of conflict, of like just being and really in not a great space, perhaps even with this analogy of the stray competing for food and things like that, of competing for like nutrients and all of those things. It's like you are presenting yourself here as this Knight of Wands, which is, I mean, you were one of the fighters. You were one of the fighters. You, there's an emphasis here, is that you were one of the fighters. And what's wanting to come into view here is that it's almost like you don't need to fight anymore. Like the fighting part is like, well, it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial anymore. And so they're wanting to kind of remove you from that energy, or actually not even necessarily that. It's like they're wanting to take that energy and remove it from you. And the way that might be presenting, or at least a way that you would be able to also take into, like a way that you would be able to participate as well, like taking in their advice, kind of like working with them, establishing this relationship, is like by utilizing the strengths of your like words, the strengths of your words, the Eight of Wands is in the background. So if you're being removed, you're being separated and removed from this fight, from that conflict, and back into this King of Wands, and ultimately up into the Emperor energy. It's like utilizing the strength of understanding that the strength of your words can shape what energies you allow to be present around you. So if you're going around your home and you are cleansing the home, in addition to cleansing the home, like saying something that would essentially create a boundary. The Nine of Wands here is kind of like talking about putting up a boundary to what you allow to interact with you and your space. And in doing so, with the Seven of Wands, it's referring to that it's like your defenses. It's like you're defending your space. You're defending your empire, or you since you are coming into this, it seems as though you're defending the creation of your empire. Like okay. Yes. And so in doing so, it kind of like, it's like you're eliminating the competition. Oh, that's interesting, because that's actually what's trying to happen here. It's like this otherworldly energy is showing you where all of those bits are, so that you can go through and cleanse out that energy as well, in addition to their involvement. It's almost like, it seems like it takes both. It seems as though it takes both of you. Maybe not necessarily that it takes both of you, but that it will be more like, it'll be stronger. The effect of it will be a lot stronger if you are participating in this cleanse. Okay, so then we kind of move on to another portion of the reading, the end of this reading here, and it's kind of being surrounded. So there's an Ace of Swords here that is being surrounded by all this feminine energy. We have the Queen of Cups and the Empress. So this Queen of Cups is talking about how, there's a lot of fire here. We've got the King of Wands, the Emperor, all of these wands, the Strength card. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of fire energy in the center, which is lovely. It's passion, creativity, vibrancy. It's beautiful. But it's like, almost like the fire needs to be tamed a bit. And so around the surroundings, there's like water. There's a water energy that is surrounding this fire. It's kind of like, in a sense, trying to control the spread, if you will. So we have the Queen of Wands that's showing up here as as a representative of that watery aspect. And of course, if you are to surround the fire with water, it's like now you're surrounding all of that those creative juices, with this psychic, it's like a psychic energy. It's really beautiful. It's interesting because with her kind of coming out, it's almost like she's coming out of this card and offering. It's like there's an offering that's happening here. It's like this, I don't know, is this trying to distinguish? It's like this otherworldly energy has an off, they're wanting to offer something that would be characterized as like a psychic energy. So that could be, of course, a gift. She is scrying, so maybe the gift of divination, or being able to see future events unfolding, things of that. Perhaps maybe even actually being able to see the higher order truth of things, which can also bring in an idea of like discernment. And weren't we talking about how you might be initially perceiving this otherworldly interaction as something that is like not good? It's like this psychic energy is giving you like some type of gift of knowing the true, perhaps even maybe like your true nature, especially with this empress that's following, like your true nature or your true origin. The empress can come with a message of your origin, because you know it's like our lineage follows it's a maternal lineage. So with all of this water that's coming through and kind of cooling off what you are experiencing, it's really bringing in a sense of comfort. It's bringing in a sense of comfort. As even with the Knight card as well as this, it's like it's coming through as something that is incredibly soothing. I mean, even with this temperance energy here, and kind of like the idea of like a warm bath, it's like it's a very peaceful and relaxing and calm like energy that is just coming over the entire situation. And maybe that is a part of the suggestions for a cleanse. It's like, okay, yes, you can cleanse your external environment, like your home, your different places that you go, perhaps even like the vehicle that you drive, all of those things. But then also coming back to your own body and even cleansing your body. It's almost like taking a bath, right? Or in a sense here, like drinking a lot of water so that you can flush your system. It's like all of that is wanting to be taken into account, because there can be a lot of things that are done on the energetic level, but like I was saying, your participation in this entire thing would amplify and strengthen and ultimately bring this like emperor kind of closer, actually. Because you're coming into the emperor energy. So it's really interesting because it's like you've already established yourself as an empress. It seems as though you've already established yourself as an empress. So you've created space. You've created a space that this that now this emperor energy can kind of it's like you've created the space where this emperor can like come into. Does that make sense? It's almost like, I mean, it could be the reverse. It could, and of course, like that, like I said in the Libra reading, it's like we're being given the opportunity to kind of like switch sides. So it could be in the reverse, but for you, Taurus, it seems like you've already established your Empress self. So you, I'm trying to think about that. This is kind of like, it is kind of like the domesticity, the creating a beautiful home life, having, all of these gorgeous, luxurious things that would create comfort. And it's that comfort that is going to wash over this emperor energy that is actually like rising up. It's almost like it's rising up within you. And as it does so, it does bring up a lot of like kind of, maybe unfavorable behaviors or experiences or situations. But because you are very well established in this Empress energy, it's like you already have all that is needed to be able to soothe this Emperor in its development. Does that make sense? Trying to see if there's anything else here. Oh, I'm actually like just noticing that even in this Ace of Swords, there's like flames here, like the air. It's very interesting. It's almost like by the Emperor energy learning the truth of all of this, of all that is actually happening, even the paranormal stuff, it's like it's adding, it's that's what's kind of like cultivating the fire. So the more that this truth, the higher order of things is recognized, it's like that's what's going to bring up all this stuff, because it's like that's what is making the fire even bigger, right? But then and then coming through and kind of like washing it away, or at least coming into a space where you can kind of like control that fire. And that's what this is. So it actually might take for you at least a couple of rounds of this, of like you know blowing in air to like kick up this stuff. It's almost like it needs to be brought, it has to be brought to the surface in order for your own internal emperor energy to see it. It's like you have to bring the truth to the surface in order to see it. And so once it's seen, then it's like there's a salve or some type of comforting energy that comes over it, like that comforting empress energy. And of course, with all of the assistance of this otherworldly presence that seems to be waking you up in the middle of the night.